if I forget to post them, please text me and let me know that they aren't, because it takes about a few hours for Zoom to process the recordings and to create a shareable link. So like when we're done with class today, they won't be ready.
And you're going to try to post these landscape plans too, right?
Yes, I'm going to give you, I'm going to try to put it together to where it's a little more coherent and less specific to this project.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back to, this is the lighting plan, and we're doing the same thing, a save as, have a plan, and in this plan, again, we don't need any of this information, the hardscape, call-outs, the dimensions, any of that. Don't really even need to call out any of that information in here. The thing that is particularly helpful on the planting or on the lighting plan is to have the trees still there, because a lot of times you use them, or if you're going to have a specimen plant or something that you're going to plant or to uplight, you want to make sure that you have it located on the plan. So like all of these, probably not so necessary to show on the plan, can be complicated, but the trees are more important. So let's pick some light fixtures, and the company that I use is FX Luminaire. They're a local company, and so it's fxl.com. They're owned by Hunter now. But there are lots of other companies as well. This is just one I like. A lot of people like Vista or Aurora. You can get specific pictures from other companies, but this is nice and all around helpful. So there are different types of ways that you want to design your landscape lighting, and the lighting is going to be aesthetically pleasing, but it also needs to serve the purpose of helping people navigate around the site safely, walking-wise, but also security-wise. So it's helpful to be able to see the portions of your yard without blasting a security spot beam at the yard. It's kind of nice to be able to see what's going on back there in a little more subtle way. And lighting kind of less is always more, so you don't want to light it up like Las Vegas, but some nice ambient lighting makes it more pleasurable to use your landscape at night and be able to confidently walk around the yard without injuring yourself. So we're going to start back at the plan and kind of think about design-wise how we want the lighting to occur. So we have our design, and we have an entry walkway. So right here, I'm just going to maybe write some notes as we go. I would like to have path lights here because this walkway is going to be a way to get into the house. So that's your entry walkway. So you need to make sure you have some lighting in here. Again, getting people up to the front door is going to be important. So you may need a light somewhere in here. In this case, it's going to be a little more challenging because it's in a lawn area. So the path light's the light that just kind of sticks up out of the ground, and it might get damaged. So I'm going to move that maybe over this way. So we have a couple of path lights here. And so those are our basic security lights, but we also have these steps. So inside steps, we do something called step lights. So these are wall and step lights, and they can be mounted inside the step or inside the wall. And there's a variety of different kinds and sizes and shapes and colors. I've been sticking with LEDs for everything, but you can get one that's a correct size for the steps that you're using. When you're pouring concrete, you have to accommodate these in the concrete pour, so you want to know that they're going to be existing and what size when you do them. So we will want some step lights in these areas. So we're sticking with the front for the moment, but we'll need step lights around for our steps. And now we have path lights, so now we have secure walkways, right? So we have some lighting that we can get around the site and feel comfortable. We have a couple of trees. It'd be kind of nice to uplight those or downlight them. So if you're in an area where we're concerned about light pollution, you would want to do maybe downlights, which is something that you would hang in a tree, and they kind of cast shadows down. So we have some little ones that are literally hung from the tree, and these kind of could be mounted on a bracket that's on the trunk of the tree. Or you can do a uplight that casts light into the tree canopy. So those are more of a different style. So, the what? So I'm enjoying the downlights. I think they're kind of fun. It sort of gives like a moon cast feel, and then it also you can cast the branch pattern onto the sidewalk, which is kind of neat and fun. So I like that at the moment. Most people go straight for the uplight because then you see.
Would you put downlights like that on the public street? I'm kind of afraid of theft.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're afraid somebody's going to steal them, maybe. I would put them in there, but I'm maybe not as concerned about that. Maybe not copper ones. Maybe just, some that aren't so outwardly maybe obvious. So we have down lights and them in these trees. There are other things that you can do. There's some that you can put on the top of fence posts. I don't typically do that, but it's an option. You can do some washes of light onto a house or onto a wall of some sort. So we have underwater lights. The uplights, I think the wall lights are in there. This would be more of like a wash, wall wash. So these will cast light onto a wall. And what a way that you can find out more about each of these fixtures, because there's so many of them, it's a little hard to tell, what exactly they're about. But what you can do is go into the product information for these. So let's say we're going to do just an uplight.
Karen, on your screen share?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing your drawing.
Thank you for letting me know that. Let me see.
Yeah, okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So here's a wall wash integrated LED. Okay. And it has 3, 6, or 9 LEDs, so that's just the strength of the light bulb. With different finishes. It's made out of aluminum or brass, and it's 6.5 inches tall. So that's some helpful information. There's a picture of it. Tells you all the details. They have some different model options. In this series, you can do just a basic light. So it's just on or off. You can also do zone and dim. So that gives you some additional features of being able to dim the lights and do different zones for lighting patterns. Like you want these lights on, at one time and these additional lights on at another. So you can kind of differentiate a little bit. And then there's the ZDC, which also adds color to your lights. And so that would be the transformer is specified for zone, dim, and color, and the fixture is also for zone, dim, and color. So you want to make sure you add that in. So we have our LC, which is the fixture number. You can choose which of these you want and decide the strength of the LED. We do North American compliant, and then you can choose a fixture finish. So they have lots of different colors, and you can match that to whatever's going on in your design. Now, there's more information here, and this is where it gets a little more specific, where you can see the width of the beam based on the size of the LED, how many lumens are being produced, voltage, helpful to know, our zone, and then our kind of length of life for the fixture. Actual specifics of the size. And now this is something that is different to lighting, and it's similar to spray irrigation, and it shows you how the foot candles project away from the distance of the fixture itself. So let's say you want there to be about 1 foot candle of strength coming to the object that you're trying to light. So at the fixture itself, it's the brightest. As it moves further away, it gets darker. So if you have it right at 4 feet, this is going to be 4.9 foot candles, which is bright. And this is this fixture that we're talking about with 3 LED. You move over here, the same distance, 6 LED, you get 10 foot candles at 4 feet. So moving away from the object 4 feet, it's much brighter. And then this continues with distance away from the object and the foot candle amount of strength.
Do you know how bright a foot candle is?
I don't know. It's a good question. I try to stick around 1 to kind of keep it light. So here's a couple of pictures. So those are pretty close to it. I'm going to say that that's probably 4 foot candles right there. But further away, like around here, it's going to be less, closer to 1. Let's see if I can find some more pictures on that. Here's our specifications, and this. They have specifications, and this is really more information than we need, but it shows you the, that doesn't. These are the vertical distances of the light traveling, but what I was looking for was just a basic photometric. I'll try it on a different product and see if I can find that. It just shows the distance of the light and the strength of the light going away from the object. And I'm not sure what this is for. It might be on something different. We'll move along from that, but let's say you want to have about 1 foot candle coverage, and then it's going to get lighter and darker as you go throughout the site. So you want some coverage, but it doesn't all have to be super bright. And it doesn't have to be even or consistent. So you are continuing to design your way through the site where you have some lights and some darks. Let's go to the path lights. And you can pick a fixture that you like. Again, I tend to go with the LED. So let's take a look at that. Again, the strength, the finishes, it's copper. It's 14 inches high. You can go in and do the models. And all of these selections as well. Specifications, the foot candles. Finding it. From this chart, you can figure out how far to space them. So if we have, if we want it to be up to 1 foot candle, a 1 LED on a 12-inch riser, you want to space them 4 feet. And so this isn't like irrigation where you overlap, it's end to end. So you just touch the edge. And so I actually tend to space these much further out just so I get a little bit of light, but not like light. So an 18-inch riser, that's pretty tall for a path light. It's almost like a tripping hazard. So 12 to 18 is good. And then I tend to space them every maybe 10 feet apart, something like that. So they touch end to end. And we're getting a little less than 1 foot candle between the two. So just kind of a rule of thumb. There's a ton of information on this. We've had actually consultants that I've worked with that only do the lighting. So again, like irrigation, a lot of detail. But the idea that you want to give is that how you want things to be accentuated in the design. So what do I really want to be looking at here? So I want step lights. I can have step lights here. I probably need a path light here, so when you open the gate, you can see where you're stepping. I want some down lights in the tree. I want a path light here. The step lights again. Maybe when you get to the backyard, I said I had an overhead. I might want some beam lights in there. Just kind of casting a little glow down on the site. The palm trees could have lighting.
Is it beam lights? That's going to be a lot for the
So let me show you those. Here. So you would take something like this, and it would be mounted on a post or within the beams of a trellis. These are a good one. And just kind of sandwich them in there, and then that provides a light from above. That. Yeah, so here we go. I don't like that actually at all, but you can do it in a more subtle way. Exactly. Make it a little softer. So back to how we make this look. We have a lighting plan. So here's just a simple lighting plan that I did. And I have a little image of the fixture because in this HOA they tend to care, but the client also cares what fixture you chose for the path lights. They tend to have the most personality. And then I have a lighting legend, and that shows a symbol. And again, you're free to make up symbols for those. You don't want them to be huge. Kind of small is nice. The manufacturer, the model you chose. So that's back to this. So let's say you have an NL. You want it to be the super exciting one. So it's now only the 9 choice. We want it to be just down light. And we'll choose a antique bronze finish. Here's our ordering number. So it kind of created it for you. So that is your model number, and it gives them all the information they need to order that product. On this website, you can kind of do a little laundry shopping list too, but for our purposes, we can just put that right here as the model number. Give a quantity, and then just describe what it is. And that's back to the FX luminaire. This is a NL down and up light, down light. And wall mount, you can describe that in your legend. So that is what is important for the fixtures that you choose. The transformer is another item that should be included on the plan because you want to show where that transformer goes. So we'll go here. And the Luxor is the one that has the app and the lighting and the color and the zone and dimming. The other ones have less of those features, which is fine for most of my clients. Most don't really need, pink and blue lights in their yards, but some really like it. So you have some different options. There's a wattage of amount. The 150 to 300 is generally 300 is generally more than enough for any of the landscapes that I've done. And so each of those circuits would go into a transformer. So once you place all of your symbols, similar to the irrigation, placing your symbols on the plan, they could be circuited but I don't necessarily do that on these plans. But you could show like a circuit. So you would have these two trees would be on one. The path lights could be on another. The step lights could be on another. So you could put them on like symbols or like uses or like areas. So the downlights for the trees are a little more just an additional item that we are pretty. But the path lights are pretty important to have on almost all the time. You have the landscape lighting on, the step lights and the path lights. The others could be added on and off, so they could be on their own circuit. They're thinking a little bit like the irrigation plan. And then similar to that, you want to locate a transformer somewhere where you would have a outdoor outlet, or you would put it in the garage if possible. So that's just if you have access to being able to put it in the garage or not. Transformer, location, and then you would take each of these and make a little symbol for them. Again, the layers. New layer would be LL, so landscape lighting, uplight, or you could just do fixtures all alone. And set current, and then you'd make your symbols and set them on the plan. And you'd go in and, like I did on this plan, I showed some images of what the fixture looks like. Sometimes that's helpful. HOAs tend to like that, so they can get an idea if you're within their design standards. So it's helpful for everybody to just do a little PDF. Anything you can just plop in there and show what the fixture looks like on the plan itself. Guys have any questions about that?
You don't want the image on the plan like you did with the...
Yeah, you can do that. That's something that I have done for sure. Right, so you're going to do it on your own computer, and then you send me a PDF. You would take, let's say you have a picture that you want to use. You can right-click on this image and either copy it or save as. There it is. Scale it down and put it on your plan and write a little description of what it is underneath.
You have to turn on that view for it.
No. So I'm in Paperspace right now, and I copied it off the internet, and then just did Control V, and that popped it in. So whatever I did here, right click, copy image, going back to my lighting plan. I'm in Paperspace, and then I'm doing Control V and placing it. You can do the same thing in Model Space. So it's up to you. I kind of like to put them in Paperspace because it's a little cleaner, but whichever way makes more sense to you is probably going to be what you end up using, so that's good for me too. Yeah, that's kind of what I mentioned with the circuitry. So if you wanted to do wires to connect them, you would do your symbols, and then on these plans, they're always arced. So you're connecting, let's say those two are together because we just talked about maybe they should be on their own circuit, so it could be turned on and off. So then you would draw another one, and again, oops, arc, and it comes and meets the transformer. So then we have one here. And in this case, we would need another sleeve for that. We need these. You kind of just arc them back and forth. That's kind of typical symbols for this. No, but just so you have an idea of what you're looking at when you see one in the future, that's kind of what they look like. But it's not really necessary for this. It's more of a conceptual design lighting plan. Because you can get into wiring, voltage drop over time, making sure, like we said with the spray heads, that the one on the very end has enough power to operate. Same works for lighting. If you have a light that's really far away from the transformer, you may need to change the wiring to make that as bright as the others along the line. Okay. Are we good with that?